Ken Dodger asks, and Dodger, of course, is MJ Mike Sewell. And thank you, Mike, for ordering one of the Raymark editions. It has been personalized to Mike, and we are about, I'm going to optimistically say, about a week away from being able to get those out. I did get the Mystery Ash Can proof copy in today. There's very small tweaking on it that I will be relaying to Alfonso at Studio Comics Press and saying, I don't need another proof, just fix these one or two little small glitches and then print out the 100 copies. Mike asks, question for Dave. Who designed the Cerebus covers? Always Dave, sometimes Gerhard, question mark. And I went and got the Cerebus covers book and was flipping through to refresh my memory on it. I think the most concise answer that I can give to that is anytime that there's a Cerebus cover that's all background. In other words, there's no characters in it. I'm looking right now at the Jaka's story covers after Jaka's been arrested. So that's cover of 130 with the door splintering inwards and the doorknob and doorknob plate buckling. And then the actual In the Tombs cover 132, 133. Of those run of covers, those are the three that don't have characters on them. In that case, I would just give Gerhard a verbal description. I would just say, here's the information that needs to be conveyed. Like I say, the description that I just gave, the door splintering inward, and the doorknob and the doorknob plate are buckling. The alcohol lamp globe with the skull on the ground and just the pool of light around the skull. You could never actually make that work. Trying to do it in real life because the light would get too diffuse. But that was part of the description that I gave Gerhard. Picture that it's like a spotlight and an extremely focused spotlight, and you just get the pool of light at the top of the cover and the pool of light at the bottom of the cover. And trust me, it'll look really good. It won't be accurate, but cool beats accurate 9 times out of 10. Then there would be a situation like the Melmoth cover for 146, which is Reggie looking out of the top floor and in the upper right corner, and then the rest of it is background. I would be looking at either one of the previous backgrounds in the book or looking at Gerhard's model and saying this section. And that would limit Gerhard's options just based on how large Reggie was in the picture. 167 is probably a good one to look at in terms of the description for that was, okay, the demon heads and skulls that the upper city is built on. Picture the fact that the road goes around the outside of that volcanic outcropping, and at some point it reaches the top, and when it reaches the top, it's like a gate going into a city, but it's obviously the demon heads and skulls. So at that point, it's okay. You have to make this look plausible. Picture that in your head. The entryway to a medieval or perhaps Victorian city, what the gate would look like, and what it would look like in the context of the S. So, in terms of the question, getting back to your specific question, who designed the Cerebus covers? I wasn't designing the cover. I was saying this is the information that needs to be on the cover, and then Gerhard would take it from there. This is okay. This is what Dave is telling me visually. This is the picture that I'm getting in my head. Now I have to figure out how do I make the picture that I see in my head appear on this piece of illustration board to be penciled and inked and watercolored in way too short a period of time. Mike goes on, I know the photo covers for Going Home were Gerhard, and we'll skip down to Matt's. The Going Home photos were also your dad, Ken Sims' photos as well. Or were those photos on the latter day covers? I'm getting to be an old interim editor, and it's all starting to blend together. And yes, the problem comes in because of the use of the latter days title, because they're all latter days photos, but Gerhard's photos and a couple of those photos were roses as well. Those were on Fall in the River, which was the first part, the Fitzgerald part of latter days, but saying latter days on the front cover. And my dad's photos were for the Hemingway half, which was Form and Void. So Form and Void and Fall in the River together make up latter days, and they're all numbered as latter days issues, which is where that part gets really confusing.
Wait a second. No, the Form and Void and Fall in the Rivers are labeled Going Home.
Yes.
Latter Days starts with this aardvark, the shepherd.
Right. See, I can't even keep it straight anymore. You're right. It's the Form and Void and Fall in the River are both Going Home.
Because
and are both Going Home and have the Going Home logo on the front of it. Latter Days starts with this aardvark, this shepherd is the first one, which is 265, I think. And then that's Latter Days is 265 through to 288, when it becomes the last day, 289 to 300.
Wait, 289, 290 was the double issue, and I think that's still labeled as Latter Days on the covers.
Yes.
I win!
Yeah, that's right. You win the Samsonite luggage. It was an in-between issue. It was not really technically Latter Days, but it also technically wasn't the last day yet.
But that was the end of Latter Days were the movie poster covers, and I know that those two are the last two movie posters.
Right, which incorporated my dad's photos. There was one of my dad's photos, however weirdly manipulated digitally, incorporated into the movie posters. There might be an exception to that, or a couple of exceptions to that, but I tried very hard to go, okay, I want to keep using these photos, so I will get really, really imaginative as to how these photos, these nature photos, fit into a movie poster parody. Getting back to Mike's question, we've interrupted him. Well, he interrupted himself a few times, but my question is prompted by the cover for following Cerebus number 10. This mirrors issue number 36 of Cerebus, the night before. In the original all-day cover, the roof is made up of simple cross lines of support. In the Gerhard background of following Cerebus number 10, the supports are beefed up, Victorian-style ironworks. Was this Ger's structural engineering passive-aggressive revenge years later? It's like, no, I don't think so. That's, if I had to think of a term describing any element of Gerhard's psychology, passive-aggressive revenge wouldn't even make the top 200, I don't think. Did you two have a laugh about such things? No, there wasn't really anything very funny about this on either of our parts. I know that I always, I would get a world-class Gerhard background, whatever the situation was on the background. If I was just describing it verbally, then yes, I would definitely get something. It would have two elements to it. It'd be completely unexpected, and it would be way better than it needed to be. And the following Cerebus number 10 cover is a good example of that, because it's, well, okay, here's what I did when I was doing it on my own. It's a greenhouse. A greenhouse looks like has a specific look to it. But because I was doing the backgrounds and the characters and the writing and the lettering, it was, okay, how do I convey a greenhouse as simply as possible so that I can put all of my time in on the stuff that interests me, which is far more of the writing, the lettering, and the characters, the pacing of the pages, and whatnot. And having decided that this was going to be the following Cerebus number 10 cover, it was, well, here's what I did. You know what I was trying to convey here. Now you have to apply your 100% faithful OCD. This is going to be much better than it needs to be to that specific background. I think that he did actually find a Victorian greenhouse background, or it was something from one of those Victorian festivals, or what they called the World's Fairs before they were World's Fairs. Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, something or other, and it's one of those. Well, okay, you found it. How faithful are you going to be to it? Because it's not just gonna land on the page on its own, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you know the one that we're talking about here, man.
Yes, I was going to say, I believe that the following Cerebus cover is part of the series of What If Gerhard Had Been Here the Whole Time?
Right.
I was thinking about it because that's technically Gerhard's second stab at that scene, because in Melmoth there's the bit where the one waitress asks Cerebus, "Do you know what I mean?" And he's thinking about Jaka. And page 188 is giant Jaka, little Cerebus, and then the greenhouse background. And looking at it, it looks a lot closer to issue 36 background than the following Cerebus cover.
Right, right. It was also I would do things with the background. Excuse me, that Gerhard tended not to do. If you look at issue 36, it actually resonates with the last day, which is, if you think about it, there's hiding just below the surface the night before the last day, and it was a technique that I didn't really revisit between the last day, between the night before and the last day, of having the background visible but compressed so that it was there's at least, I think, a half dozen panels where the background is visible but only as a halo around Cerebus or a halo around Jaka. And I didn't really revisit that extensively until the last day when I did that, because Cerebus is old, and there's a definite metaphysics to that of being old and having your reality collapse around you is a lot like those conversations with the beloved, the this is my other, when the conversation's not going real good. And I think we can all agree that the conversation in number 36 didn't go really good. And I was kind of proud of the fact that here you go, here's the same motif, and here's why I'm using the same motif, because there's the last day, and then there's the last day where it's the last day in quotation marks in terms of your life, but it's probably even more brutal than your last day on Earth. The conversation with the romantic partner that's just not going the way that you would want it to or would hope it to, and then it just goes over the brink of the falls, and that's all she wrote.
Now, I don't want to get up and grab the book to look, but I think you use the same motif in Going Home right before Fall in the River, when, it's when they get in the carriage. I think right before they get in the carriage, it's the similar motif of the background gets subdued, and then at the end of Form and Void, it's a white landscape, but it also has a lot of that where it's the spotlight of the characters, a little bit of background, but a lot more white. Now thanks, Dave. Now I gotta do a day on the blog of, hey guys, look at this motif that Dave pointed out that nobody really picked up on.
Which might be idiosyncratic to Dave. Did anybody else ever experience this? Yes, I could picture a few of those. We won't spoil anybody's